Therapy Army! Last be having you. Top 4 guaranteed. Casemiro. 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 Get in there. Get in there. Get in there. Glazers out. Glazers out. Come on. Last be having you, Therapy Army. Last be having you. Last be having you. How are we doing tonight? How are we doing tonight, people? Brilliant atmosphere at Old Trafford. We're having it. Eski, talk to me, brother. You watched that?
Yes. Bro, I had it on radio at work, but I watched second half, bro. Amazing. Great performance. Bro, I'm just over the moon. Top 4 with a game to go, bro. Absolutely ecstatic.
Oh, trust me, man. Talk to me about the game. What did you enjoy from the game, bro?
Bro, do you know what? It's Casemiro coming back into it himself. Because after the whole red card debacle, there's a little conspiracy. Oh, is he the same player? Referees going after him. Put that to bed with the last couple of performances. Absolutely sensational. He's doing no-look passes. He's getting on the end of headers, marshalling everyone. He was a joy to watch and listen to be fair, on the radio did a good service as well. I mean, everyone was just amazing. And something that I personally wanted to see, I got to see in the game. I've been screaming for Sancho on the right wing. Now, big up Anthony. No one wants to see a bit of play go down, and I hope he's okay. But out of that bad circumstance, we got to see Sancho on the right. And he was very effective today. I think a lot of people online are saying when he went over to the right side in the second half, he was very, very effective. So I'm really glad I got to see that. I mean, Martial got to score a goal. Rashford got his 30th goal, which is a big landmark for him. He's the first player since Robin van Persie to score 30 goals for the club. So big up Marcus Rashford. I think Zlatan would have done it, but he obviously got that injury, but he was on course to do it. So there's a lot of positives to take away from the game, but I listened to yours and Saeed's post-match review, and he's absolutely spot on. We play like that against City, you can forget about it, because Chelsea, if they had a half-decent striker, you know what, if both sides had a half-decent striker, we probably win like 9-5. Do you know what I mean? It was one of them games, they could have scored 5 and we could have scored 9 if both teams had a half-decent striker. So that's just the story of both of our seasons. But Chelsea, in the bin, mate. Absolutely woeful. And I'm so happy personally, because I've got a mate who's a massive Chelsea fan. Every week he's just throwing the 7-0 in my face. I'm like, your club's such a disgrace. You have to cheer on other people's results. And now look at you, humbled, mate. Absolutely humbled. Take that 4-1 and F off back to London. Right, I'm going to swear then, but I'm not going to swear. F off back to London, right? So I'm absolutely ecstatic, Meridian. I don't know about you, but of course, play the kids against Fulham and see what I'm going against City, innit? But that's it, man. We got it done. Got it done.
Casemiro.
Casemiro.
Oh, man. Honestly, he was everywhere tonight. It was like 3-4 of them. Sean, check Twitter. I've sent you the link on Twitter. Tom, I've sent you the link on Twitter. Big up to Tom. United have made it. I didn't think we were going to make it. Genuinely didn't think we were going to make top 4. So Manchester United made top 4. And I'm so gassed. I'm so happy for the fans in there. It was electric atmosphere tonight. I don't know if you could sense that tonight, guys. If we could hear it if we came across on the TV, but the atmosphere was electric, man. So big up to everybody. Tom, check Twitter. I've sent you the link on Twitter. Big up, man. Talk to me, Sean. How did you see the game tonight?
Yeah, no, I think like you, I didn't have a lot of confidence in this team. Like, I think this team is like one of the few teams in the Premier League that can snatch, defeats from the jaws of victory. So I was half expecting us to kind of like, flop in the last 2 games. But, I was glad we won today. And I was glad we won by 3 goals, even though that, João Felix was a throwaway. I thought we could have scored a lot more. I don't know if we're going to focus on some of our concerns for City. But I wasn't even able to be too happy for this game because I'm like, okay, this Chelsea team is horrible. Like, this is a really, really bad, really poor Chelsea team. We could have scored a lot more goals, but it was good that we've secured top 4 and on to next season for Champions League. Is there already on mute?
I think you're on mute.
Big up. Listen, big up. Sean, at times they opened us up, though. If we get, honestly, I don't want to bring the mood down, though. If we give the space that we gave Chelsea tonight to Man City.
That was my exact same feedback. It looked like our midfield was made of paper. Like, they were just cutting through anyhow. It was kind of like attack versus attack. And even though like both our attacks were a bit kind of blunt, we managed to score a few more goals. I think we're a bit more stable in the back with like Lindelof and Varane as well. But our midfield looked paper thin. And we still have like attackers who have poor decision making. So there are many times where either Anthony or Rashford will run all the way from defense to attack, and then as if they will just have like a brain freeze. Like they'll get to the box or the edge of the box and kind of like just like choke like there, and I was like, yeah, this is going to be a disaster against City. But yeah, us not break down the mood. Top four, top four secured. A very good season, I would say, for the manager. Very good first season. I hope he's learning a lot, like in terms of the experience that he's gathering. I think Casemiro is finding his way. I was telling you, Casemiro just needs a few games to get back into his rhythm, and I think he has gotten back into a rhythm now. He looks absolutely solid. Saka looks fantastic. Lindelof and Varane look great. I think Sancho looked a lot better on the right than we've seen him on the left, and that was an interesting point to see. I think Marshall is beginning to pick up, beginning to get into like the swing of things a little. But yeah, like there's lots of positives from this game, I might have to say.
So just to give you some match facts, we had 41% possession. They had more possession. They had 59 possession. We had 18 shots on goal, 9 on target. They had 14 shots, 5 on target. We had 3 corners. They had 4 corners. 12 fouls to United, 6 to theirs. So we were more fouling, but you know what? It wasn't that type of a game. Tom, if you can hear me, what did you think of the game tonight? Big up to you, by the way.
Yeah, big up as well.
How you doing, bro? You good?
Yeah, we're doing good as always.
Listen, I'm going to ask you this question. I'm gonna head it off straight off. If Manchester United give that much space, especially in the first half, to Man City, we can get slaughter. We could get 7 or 8 or 9, honestly.
Yeah, to be honest, if I had to compare it to any of the games that we played this season, Liverpool would spring to mind, especially for the second half. Like as open as we were at the back in that game, we were today, really. And I guess the only praise and sake is that Chelsea haven't been consistent this season in terms of scoring goals, and they are like us. They don't have a direct number 9. So really, I guess you can pray for small mercies in both cases. And look, the way as Eric Ten Hag says, at the end of the day, Man United should always consistently be in the Champions League. So it's a small step back to where we should be consistently, year in, year out. But at the end of the day, we take such as games where we had so many chances in the game, and we can say it for what it is, we don't have a number 9 and all the excuses, but the first 20 minutes, mate, we should have been 4-0 up anyway. Like, the amount of times, I can't remember if it was Anthony or Sancho, like, we got into the final third, and it was a 3-on-1.
Anthony.
It was a 3-on-1, and we didn't score. Like, when is that ever heard of? When you think of a cultivating of a if you're like, well, what we call it nowadays, a big club. Manchester City get 3-on-1 with somebody, they smack the ball in the back of the net. It's as simple as that. But I guess we could safely say, for what we lack in ruthlessness, we lack in composure in terms of the box. And there was a lot of unselfishness tonight, we have to admit in saying that, where square the ball across the goal instead of having a go for yourself, which I do admire with some places, especially Sancho. But the only problem is Sancho and Martial, these kind of players, mate, these performances happen once in a blue moon, and we can say that they pick up and stuff, but it don't happen. Casemiro, you can say the same as well. He's starting to get back in his own. Wan-Bissaka, brilliant against tonight. Like, but the only thing I'm saying for, anyways, in terms of the overall game, like, this Chelsea team, it's young. That's the difference. And Man United's team, we're a lot more experienced. We've got a lot more hardened older players in our team. That's the only difference between the two. Chelsea, they don't have the experience, they don't have the direction of a manager, but we have the direction of a manager, and we have an experienced squad who's been here, seen it, done it. But love it or hate it, from what we've seen, like, there was still frailties there, as you said, Nuruddin. The counter, like, especially on the counter attack, when we're running back to our own goal, like, it was ridiculous in the first half. Like, 3-4 chances easily could have been goals. And like you say, if you do that on the big open pitch at Wembley, mate, well, good night, Vienna, mate. You'll be losing 3-0 before half time. So Eric Ten Hag either he needs to give these players the rest against Fulham, or he needs to utilise that game to make it make a solid defensive performance to then, if you like, finish up the gaps in defence for then going forward to play City at Wembley. But no, great performance as always. And look, Champions League football secured. I don't really get by this thing about, if we're asked about getting third or fourth now, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. You've qualified for the top four. You get the same money as whatever you get for third or fourth. So
No, I'll prefer to be third. I'll prefer to be third. Just putting
I'm
that
not
out there.
Sean. Who's asked? We're in the top four. Newcastle will get the same money as you. Like, it doesn't matter at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So we're in the top four. No, Nuruddin, you'll be happy, mate. You can stream that on a Tuesday night, can't you? No Thursday night football for you, mate. So get the diary out, Nuruddin.
Badminton night. Badminton, hopefully, on a Thursday night. Badminton night. 5-a-side night, hopefully. Listen, big up Unski. Thanks for the super chat, bros. Casemiro was great. But shout out to Aaron Bissaka. The man looked like he's enjoying his football again. Congratulations to the boys. Big up to you, Owanski, man. Big up to the Old Trafford crowd tonight. I thought they were magnificent tonight. Magnificent. I took Bumbaye tonight. Bumbaye was there sitting next to me tonight. And he absolutely balled out. He's got to see 4 goals. Bumbaye, you need to go there. We need to get you a season ticket, pal, because Man United put on a show for you tonight. What did you think about the game tonight and the atmosphere in there?
Oh, Casemiro! Oh, Casemiro! Fucking loved it, bro. What an evening, honestly. Like you say, first and foremost, good evening, guys. Good evening, Therapy Army. I thought the fans, man, today blew the roof off the place. The Stretford end was the 12th man, and it rubbed off across the whole stadium. When they were hitting Glazers out, everybody got up, man. It was brilliant. Do you know what? Tom said something there. Small mercies. We had to, live on small mercies because usual we didn't take those opportunities. There were some really good openings, first half, second half. We squandered a lot of them. We did it against Bournemouth, and this has been one of the downsides of us. And I'm hoping this will improve, and a striker will help improve it. It's not difficult stuff. It's just ball not quite right, wrong decision, not getting your head up quick enough, shit finish. You've got to finish these things, man. It will make a huge difference if we can get these things right and start being more clinical. I thought everybody played all right, man, today. Wan-Bissaka again, very, very impressive. Lindelof, brilliant tonight. Casemiro is just a godfather, man. The guy is today. I can't bear thinking about this team without him. So, man of the match all day long. He was absolutely outstanding. But you know what? We were worth the points. We rolled our luck a little bit, but and we know that Chelsea have got their problems. They seem to be just a little bit further back than they have to because they don't have a striker. We have that problem sometimes, but other than the opportunities they made, generally we were the better team. We should have been out of sight after 25 minutes, and it could have been, a game like 10-5. It could have been something like that. But job done, man. A trophy, Champions League qualification, under some, circumstances, no striker, injuries, million games played. So it's a very good evening on the whole.
Like I said to you, big up Bumbaye. He had an absolute ball. He bought his bike tonight, parked the car outside my gaff, and we cycled there, and it's refreshing. Let the people know how the cycle was. Nearly got him killed. I take risk when I go to Old Trafford. I take risk.
Only way to go to Old Trafford on a summer night like this, man. Best thing to do. If you can cycle, take your bike, man. You might nearly die with Dino, but it's worth it.
Listen, I go there with sleet and snow, mate. Sleet and snow. And getting battered by the rain. That's the difference. But big up to you. Big up to you. We need to get you a season ticket because if Manchester United are going to play like that when you turn up, the boys put on a show for Bumbaye. So smash a like for Bumbaye, people. Bumbaye was there tonight, going through all the motion with the frustrations and everything. But yeah, brilliant atmosphere tonight. I thought the stadium was jumping. Obviously, sunny day in Manchester. When the games like that, a lot of Manchester United fans in Manchester get off a couple of hours early from work, hit the pubs, and then, you know what I mean, sit out in the beer gardens and then get ready for the game. So it was one of those tonight. It was in the sunshine, and it was sealed with a kiss by Casemiro. I thought Casemiro definitely stepped up the last 2 games, and you know, when a player's got so that world class, you know, attributes in him, even though since when he came back from the, you know, last time when he was banned for the second red card, I didn't think, I was like, what the hell? It was like a Jekyll and Hyde. We're like, who's this Casemiro? I've not seen this Casemiro before. But in the past couple of games, he's been getting into it, and he's just took the bull by the horns, I think. I didn't see United scoring any goals against Bournemouth without that spectacular goal, spectacular finish. And tonight he started it off with an absolutely fabulous header. I don't know what they were looking at the VAR, but we were just like, why? It looked like he was
it's the angle though, isn't it? Because they can't look at it directly on the line because there's other players. That's probably the reason why. But like, even with the angle, like, I don't understand with the VAR, like the cameras are there. You know what I mean? In terms of how they set up, it's always different wherever you, like, you, for example, take the VAR assistance that you have at Old Trafford, which is obviously a bigger landscape of a pitch, for example, and you take it to, say, Stamford Bridge. Do you understand where I'm getting at in terms of the angles of how the view isn't great in terms of it? But even like you just said about Casemiro, Nuruddin, one thing that I've picked up on and noticed ever since he's come back is he's not as rash in terms of with the challenges. And I don't know if that's because the team are doing a little bit more hard work in terms of working around him, so he doesn't have to throw in silly challenges and get booked, or it's just as simple as he's not blowing straight into people as he used to. Because we saw at the start of the season, those 50-50 challenges, he used to just steamroll through them, and he'll either get the ball or he'll get the player. He's leaving with something. He's not going to leave with nothing. Whereas now, even though, yes, it might loses the ball or it might put us in a bit of a sticky situation in terms of the position on the field, but in terms of him, like we said, Casemiro in the team and out of the team, it's night and day, really. We don't have that balance in terms of somebody who can control not only where we go in terms of the forward line, like we saw with the assist that he got, but also in terms of the back line where it gives that added protection. And suddenly, like I say, people who are having PTSD about, you know, Lindelof, Maguire, or, you know, Shaw, whoever you want to play there, you can be a little bit more relaxed and a bit calm. We've got Casemiro in front of us, it's fine. But the only problem with Casemiro is it's the here and now. That's the only thing that I'm concerned about. He'll be good for here and now, this season, next season, but then we need a long-term plan. That's where I'm saying with this. We need either to develop somebody, like, I don't know if you want Kobe Mino or somebody like that, develop somebody to play the role, or you need to bring somebody in to do so. And,
no, but he also needs support, like even in this midfield. So if we play Casemiro, Eriksen, and Fernandes and Bruno against City, we're going to get smoked.
Eriksen's the weak link in all this. We need a new number 8 midfielder. That's the problem.
We noticed tonight. Me and Mumbai noticed after 10 minutes he was blowing. He was blowing tonight.
I don't think Eriksen's fully recovered since that injury, though. To be honest with you, I can't remember one game where he had like a superb performance, or like he blew his arse out for, like, we know he can't play 100 like the 90 minutes. I can't even remember a game where he's played full 90, has he? Like, not consistently anyway. I don't know if it obviously to do with what happened with, you know, the incident with the Euros and stuff. I don't know if it's something medical wise because of it. But even like 10 minutes, like even just like 20 minutes into a game, like he doesn't move around the field 100% for me. I don't know if that's just from the outside looking in, but even I don't know what it's like in the stadium rather than looking on TV. He doesn't get around the field enough, especially on a big pitch like Old Trafford.
No, we can see it on TV as well. Eriksen is useless off the ball, completely useless. I think the gamble that Ten Hag is betting on is that having Eriksen in the team is better overall, because if you keep the ball there, you don't have to chase it around. And with Eriksen on the pitch, we're better at keeping the ball. But that only works against teams like, you know, like Chelsea, like all those other teams.
Yeah.
Against a team like Man City in the final, if we play Ericsson in that midfield, I'm just going
He's
to turn
gonna,
off the
he's
TV
gonna, yeah,
because
he's
it's
gonna
not
play
going to
though.
play.
He's gonna
Listen,
play though. That's the problem.
listen, I've got a question for you all. Big up to United Glory. On Sunday, what do? Do you play your strongest team versus Fulham and go into the final with the momentum, or rest everyone for Fulham? I'll start with you, Eski. Please smash a like on the video, people. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Smash a like for Bumbaye going to Old Trafford tonight, bringing 4 goals. 4 goals for the
Yeah,
Masters,
man.
being 6 or 7. But Eski, what are you doing? You're Eric Ten Hag on Sunday. You playing your strongest team, or are you resting them and playing the like all of the guys, Ilanga, Kobe Manu? You playing? What you doing? By the way,
Honestly,
Shaw's injured as well. Shaw is injured. Shaw Anthony, but Anthony looks doubtful for the final. But go ahead, Eski.
yeah, he probably is a doubt. Sure, touch and go. I think I'm in two minds. It's one of them where you start out a team against Fulham with a tactic that you're going to use against City, but the only problem is Fulham aren't City. Like say if you were coming up against that Arsenal and it was a nothing game, or even a Brighton, someone who's going to dominate the ball and be very front-footed, maybe you play more of a stronger team. Because it's only Fulham and they don't play anything like City, it's a waste playing your team. All right, you can say match fitness, sharpness, or whatever, but you just have that behind closed doors. You just have intense training, constant intense training. Give them a break. We make the training as good as you can be because Ten Hag's not had a long time to prepare for matches. He's got a long time now, relatively long, to prepare for this FA Cup final. So I'm not playing any of my strong players. No, I'm playing kids. I'm giving Zidane Iqbal a go. Jack Butland's getting his debut. Phil Jones can unretire himself for a game. Ta-ra. A little testimonial there for Jones. And then you play all these guys. You don't play none of your strongest team. No way. No way.
Okay. Big up United Devil. Go ahead, Sean. What you doing, Sean?
Yeah, no, I agree with SK 100%. Rest the entire team. I don't want to see anybody who's starting the final. I don't want to see them. I need everybody to be at 110% fitness in that final because that's the only way we get anything out of it. Don't risk any injuries. Don't risk any fatigue. Forget about all that tactic stuff. Everybody who's playing in the final should right now be in an incubator where from now to the final, they're drilling tactics, whatever. One of my favorite, like Sir Alex Ferguson stories is that I think he told Giggs like months ahead of time that he was going to move Giggs to the central midfield position and took Giggs out of the starting lineup for like a few months. And he was just training for that. I think it was a game against Chelsea was where he debuted in central midfield for the first time. And it was a success. Ten Hag should take these guys, whoever is starting in the final, he should know by now. Take them, keep them somewhere, and just be drilling them for your tactics, for fitness, for whatever. I don't want to see any first team player give Zidane Iqbal a shot. McTominay, Kobe Mainu, Garnacho, Weghorst, everybody that hasn't played yet this season, just play them. But give Maguire a farewell game, like Dalot, bring Brandon Williams, whoever, just bring all of them. But I don't want to see any of our main team guys there. I agree with this. Everybody else.
Go ahead, Bumbaye. What are you doing on Sunday? Are you resting them all, or are you playing them with the momentum?
Yeah, no, I tilt towards the rest. It's been a long season. City will have also one eye on that Champions League final, so don't risk it. You might give a few minutes here and there, but it'd be nice to see some of the other kids like Zidane Iqbal, Pellistri, Kobe Mainu. It's hello. We've done our job for the season, man. We did. Our goals are achieved. And this final, he has time to prepare for it, like the boys are saying. So I'm going towards the rest. I don't want to see these lads playing against Fulham. I don't think it's worthwhile.
Yo, big up my brother, Hype Mode, man. Love and light, brother. I hope you're good. Big up to everybody. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. When I road to 10K, people. 10K. Tom, are you there? Tom, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Are you resting everybody or are you risking it? Are you risking everybody or are you resting team? You playing with a completely different 11 on Sunday and resting everybody for the final?
From back to front, ship them all off. Sit him in the stands. Do what you got to do. Like John Stones, he wants his testimonial. Give him his testimonial. Give him a final game next to Harry Maguire. Why not? But like I said, I'm not asked about finishing third, fourth. It doesn't make a difference. Yeah, you can say what you want. Newcastle can finish above you. I couldn't be arsed. It doesn't make a difference. We got what we came for tonight. We got the top four. And unluckily for it, we've escaped with 2 injuries. One of whom doesn't seem as serious in Luke Shaw, but the Anthony one, like, I'd be very doubtful if he did make the final. Like, and I don't want to put him on adrenaline or do what we do with certain players and stuff like. If he can't play, he can't play. It's as simple as that. But going into the final game, the only thing I'm saying with the Fulham is I don't want us to risk unnecessary players that we don't need to risk. For example, you have it with players like Varane, who you've only just really got back into the squad. Same with Casemiro, only recently just got back into the mood and the the speed of how our team's been playing. Really, Rashford we know's had a couple of knocks and illnesses in the recent weeks. Like, give a lot of these players the nights off. And all I'm going to say in terms of it, you get a lot of the young players that have had minutes here and there, and give them a full 90. I don't like, even if you don't make substitutions, I'm not asked. Like, give these kids a full 90 minutes and let them show what they can do. Like, you can, I'd even put Tom Heat and Jack Butland in. Like, give one of them a game. Why not? Like, you've got nothing to lose. You know, throw the kids in, Kobe Mino, Iqbal, Garnacho, like, I don't know, put all the Youth Cup winners in from last year. Like, I'm really not asked to be honest with you. Let them have an experience and let them play at Old Trafford with the actual men's first team and Eric Ten Hag. Let's see some of these kids and, like, you know, Zidane Iqbal, like, show Eric Ten Hag what he's been missing all season, and those running fixtures where we needed midfielders and he didn't choose you. Like, show us something that we haven't seen before. That's what I'm saying with a lot of these players. And look,
but what about this one? Listen, if this is true, Zayan Adin says if we finish 12, we need to play the playoff match over 2 legs. Is that true, people? Please, can somebody check that for me in the chat? Somebody check that. If you finish 12, what are you doing?
I'm not sure. Listen, I'm not even asked anyway. Like, if Man United want to play Champions League, we'll play Champions League, won't we? We'll beat some team in, you know, Belgium or Kazakhstan, whoever we need to play and beat in the summer, like, we'll beat them. It's fine, but no, I just think play a lot of the youngsters, give them the 90 minutes, give them the chance to express themselves, and don't take on any unnecessary risks at the end of the day, and maintain the fitness. You know, we played the most games in Europe. You know, as people know and it's been well documented. So at the end of the day, I think a lot of these players, they do deserve that bit of a rest and that bit of a time off. Yeah. And now you can, like we were all sitting up, you know, these players that were sitting up at Spurs 2-0 up, you know, sitting up with the feet up. Like, now you can sit up with your feet up, lads, and, you know, rest, recovery. And as we've all said, drill the tactics in, drill the plan into these players' heads, because really now you've got 2 weeks to prepare for Manchester City effectively. And that's why I say if you chuck the kids out against Fulham, you've got a good 10 days to 14 days of hard, solid drilling tactics and fitness to get into these players for City. And then that, like I say, that's the priority now. Eric Ten Hag, I think, knows that anyway. I don't think he's asked if you finish 3rd, 4th, whatever. It doesn't make a difference. So, home or away, Man United all the way. So,
Irfan, how you doing, bro? Big up to you.
I'm well, yourself. All right, boys. All good.
Yeah, did you watch the game tonight? Are you okay?
Yep.
What did you think of it?
We were very lucky today, Nuruddin. I mean, the game was so open, and I think that Modric chance. I mean, you know, this was like a Christmas present. This game, it was just unbelievable. That you know, that scoreline doesn't reflect that game at all, and it was worrying in many places. To tell you the truth, you can see that they're in the mire. They're just in the quicksand. They can't get out. They're completely off form. And it was worrying watching us. I mean, I felt sorry for Anthony, but obviously I've got to congratulate the team and Ten Hag for making it to top 4, because that's an achievement itself, considering the ups and downs and the number of games they've played. So it's definitely an achievement. But I'm worried that, you know, we made it so open, and, you know, they had more possession than us. We were you know, counter-attacking them. And this is one of the worst teams in the league. You know, if you take the results back to January at some point, they're like relegation form. So it was very, very like worrying in a way. But maybe, you know, you could look at it another way and say, look, okay, We needed some luck, and we were reduced some luck, and we got the luck. Because, you know, if I said to you the score was going to be 4-3 to us, that would have been a fair result. So what I was thinking, I mean, my worries is that I wish we'd played Fulham today and not Chelsea, because we would have had a much tougher game to assess where we are. Now, my thing is watching that game today.
Big up to United Glory TV. Says Chelsea had more possession, more passes, more completed passes, more forward passes. I think we played on a transition tonight. That was a tactic to play on a transition, set traps for them. But if we give that amount of room and space that we gave to Chelsea, we're getting 10 at Wembley, people.
If we're as open as that against City, we're going to get battered. We're absolutely going to get battered. And like I said, I just think the gods were with us today. They gave us the luck. They said, okay, you can have your luck, boys, to get into the Champions League. So I don't know what Ten Hag's going to make on that. It was nice to see Sancho on the right, though. I was happy to see him on the right. But my worry is still what we do with the ball in the final third. It's still a major issue for me. You know, I mean, Martial, that first chance he had. I mean, what is he doing, man? I was about to get back to him. You know, let the right back get back to me. I mean, come on, you got to be sharper than that. You got.
You mean when he felt like a sack of potato?
I mean, Nuruddin, come on, man, come on. I mean, how many chances does the guy want? I mean, that's my worry. I mean, we look better when Garnacho's on, and obviously Rashford's coming back to form. But I mean, what won us the game? I mean, I suppose it's our defense, but I don't think the defense was that good today, to tell you the truth, because they got opened up a lot.
No, Irfan, it was the midfield. It was the midfield that exposed them. Eriksen was gasping after 10 minutes.
He was. But I mean, Casemiro had a great game. So did Wan-Bissaka. They both had great games. Again, I don't want to be too negative. I just think we've got to take it. But we got to raise our game to get anywhere in the FA Cup final. Raise it by a lot, Nuruddin, because, you know, my worries, I mean, I don't know. Would you say the players are still gassed out? Do you still think they're full of suffering from fatigue? Do you think so?
100%, F. 100%.
That's the thing. We didn't look sharp as
Bruno. I think Bruno should have come off at 60 minutes. He should have come off a lot earlier. But yeah, listen. At the end of the day, Chelsea look really good because they've got very athletic players. Enzo was really good in midfield for them. The way they overloaded us, but they get there, they do everything, and then they get to the last third, and then they can't finish. They can't put the passes together.
And they absolutely mess it up because they're lacking confidence.
And Manchester City can. So that's the thing what's worrying. But we've got to do it. Listen, I didn't think we were going to make top 4. None of us thought we were going to make top 4. So what are you going to do? Are you going to rest them that 11? On Sunday, or are you going to play them for the momentum and play them against?
It's an interesting question. Now, I was listening before. You know, if you get 4th, do you go straight? Do you have to qualify, or do you go straight into Champions League?
Apparently, you can go straight to Champions League. That's what.
So there's no qualifying game, no?
I think they took the qualifying game out, didn't they? Or they
I'm not sure. I've been thinking about that earlier on today. I just wasn't sure because what's different?
You have to play one. I think we had Liverpool played one like a couple of years ago, didn't they? Against like Hoffenheim or something. In like it was a 2-leg. It was a home and away, wasn't it? I think did Spurs have to do it one season as well? I can't remember. I think they've scrapped it ever since the new format.
I hope they have, because that means, Nuruddin, that means we can rest some of the players. I mean, you have to keep down Nacho. You're going to have to look after Sancho, Casemiro. You're going to have to look after these guys, Varane. You're going to have to look after a lot of the players. I mean, but I would say if we play a weak team, we'll get beat by Fulham. I don't think we'll beat them. So especially to be gunning for us after the FA Cup loss, the way they lost it, especially. So, I mean, look, it's going to take a big prayer for us to get through past City. I just can't see us beating City, but some kind of like wonder performance could do it. But I can't see, because we were so open there, and we were just. The way they got through I was like, oh my God. And, on each wing, left and right, there was a man free. And I'm like, oh my God, what is going on? And they just make the wrong pass, because we're both terrible in the final third. Both teams are. So, I mean, I don't know what he's going to do, but, I think everyone's just taking in the fact that we made it. We didn't think we'd made it. And he's going to cross that bridge when he gets there. But I do worry of what to do here. I'm not sure. I do think he's going to have to rest some players, but I don't know how many he's going to rest. Especially because of the way Anthony was injured today. It was a bit of a freak injury, that. So it'll be a doubt in a lot of the players' minds, because nobody wants to miss the FA Cup final, really, do they?
Yeah. Listen, I didn't see, obviously, I've still not seen it on television, but how bad me and Bumbaye were at the game tonight. The Manchester United put on a show for Bumbaye. There's 100 of you in here. Smash a like for Bumbaye being in the stadium. Listen, how did he look?
Did he go? Did he go? Right.
Yeah, how did the Anthony injury look? How bad is it? How did it look on television?
To be honest, I didn't think it looked too bad, but when the stretcher
was there an impact? Was there an impact?
He was taking off on the stretcher.
Yeah, it was an
impact. I know that. What did the replay?
I think it was an ankle injury. I think it was inside ankle.
He's turned one of the players, and then like collateral damage.
It was Calabar.
Yeah, like collateral damage, and like sandwiched him in, if you know what I mean, basically. So he's done one of them, and then the other one stuck it on him, basically, and then he's gone down.
Did he twist, or was it an impact injury?
It just was an impact.
It was impact. It wasn't a twist, Nuruddin. It was an impact.
No, it just went through him, like the impact of Chalobah. That's how it was. But honestly, the way you looked at it on TV, I just thought he was doing one of his antics. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what we mean? A lot of Brazilian players, we know like the antics that they do in that. That's what it just looked like.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking initially as well. That's what I was thinking.
It went like, but then when the consistency went down and the physios came on and stuff, then you thought, oh shit, like this is a lot worse than it actually looks. But even with the when Anthony went off of the field and everything, like when we switched Sancho onto the right hand side, I don't know if it was because he wasn't having how can I say, he didn't have more of a defender to play against like Aspilicueta. And he had a lot more joy against the young lad. What was his name? Hall. Well, I think it's a brilliant young player for Chelsea anyway. The fullback. Like going up against somebody who's maybe not got as much defensive qualities, in the final third, he was a lot better. And if I'm not mistaken, he got the assist from that side, from the Casemiro pass as well. But the only thing we're saying, like I say, with a lot of these players is with Eric Ten Hag, if there's ever a time to wrap a lot of these players in cotton wool, now is the time to do it. Lock them up. Listen, sit at home with your wives, your children, your partners, whatever. Like, sit at home with your feet up and just get into training. As you've said, during from a lot of the season anyway, take it the week by week. You have a full week of preparation. Like for this game, for example, pretty much, we've had 4 or 5 days preparation from the weekend. So at the end of the day, take the games as they come, but with the Fulham game, at the end of the day, all we can say for it now is you can shut the league out of your mind, and it is, if you like, we can put the chapter to bed with what's happened with a lot of our season. But yeah, we've won the trophies, we've done all that we've done, but Fulham, I think, and even if you played a lot of these senior players, are we honestly thinking that they're really going to care if we down tools against Fulham? I don't think a lot of these players would, blow their asses out against Fulham when you've already achieved all that you can achieve in the season. Like, do we really think that they'd put in an amazing performance against Fulham? Because I personally don't think so. Anyway, I think they'd take the foot off the gas. Me personally, even if they're asked to play
the youngsters, because those guys still have things to prove.
That's what I mean. The youngsters, yes, but if you played pretty much the strengthened team, I think that I'm not saying it in a bad way, but I don't think they'd put as much effort in because they've got nothing to play for. They've got nothing to prove. Because all of them will know I've got a place going to Wembley. Whereas the youngsters, they can at least fight for maybe a spot on the bench or whatever, something like that.
No, 100%. Listen, Ahmad can't play. Big up United Glory. Ahmad is not eligible to play, but he's definitely coming back. Apparently, they sued and booted him. That's what the PR thing was. But yeah, Anthony, I'm trying to see a clip of the Anthony injury. I can't really see it, but I hope it's not too bad. Definitely, we need Luke Shaw. I think Luke Shaw might play centre half in the final. So it's going to be a very interesting game. Last time we beat
Nuruddin, Nuruddin. The starting centre back is Varane and Lindelof. I don't think Ten Hag would dare touch that.
Listen, he's going to want a left-sided guy. He's going to want a left-sided guy. I promise you. Watch.
I think that's going to be a big mistake, because if Luke Shaw plays in centre back, that means Malasha's playing on the left. Yeah, no, we might as well just phone it in. I think he played a strongest team.
But he played when we beat them at home, bro. He played.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was almost. I mean, in football years, that's like 2 years ago.
I actually think that was one of his best games. He shut down Mahrez. He shut down
That's what I'm
Mahrez.
saying. In football time, that's like 2 years ago. The season has moved a long way from that.
And I
Malaysia
understand
to me
that.
is an unserious
I understand that.
serious
City are
player.
playing different.
Um,
I know that City are
yeah,
playing different.
I don't trust Malaysia one bit. He strikes me as a serious person. A lot of energy, but he don't have to give his position for. I think it's the strongest team, and our strongest team right now is Hazard and Varane and Lindelof in the center. Lindelof doesn't look like he's taking any prisoners now. I don't think you want to take him out of that position. I hear what you're saying about having center back, and I think sure because I'm sure it's good in keeping his Lindelof for sure. It's a tough choice, but I think it's a better Shaw left back and to play Shaw as center
Sean,
back.
your internet.
Him
Listen,
and
Sean,
like last striker, yeah.
Sean, we can't hear you. The line is bad. We can't hear you, bro.
Your internet's moving like Ericsson in the game tonight. It's moving mad. So sort the internet out. Maybe jump out, jump back in. Big up, brother. Listen.
All right, cool.
It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be are you driving?
I think he is, you know.
Yeah, he might be driving.
Yeah.
Bombay, listen. I'll get your final thoughts, man. I'm shattered. I need to like that. I've had a long day. What did you take away from that? Manchester United are back in the Champions League. Liverpool have won. It's official now, people. Liverpool have won the 7-Up Cup. So hopefully they're enjoying that tonight. And that but it is what it is. But
They can
Manchester
drink the 7-Up on the way to Kazakhstan or something, can't they? It's all right. So
exactly.
Have a few beers on the plane to Kazakhstan, lads. It's all right.
I genuinely do believe if Eric Ten Hag's not backed in the summer, if he doesn't have 4 world-class players going into that first team, then I think we're in trouble. But before I get to you, let me ask these two brothers, man. Talk to me, guys. We'll go to Jarvis first. Jarvis, how did you see the game? Are you happy that Manchester United in the Champions League next season?
Yeah.
Casemiro, Casemiro, Casemiro. How did you see the atmosphere? Could you tell that it was a jumping atmosphere at Old Trafford tonight? Did you get a sense of, did that come across on the television?
The audience, the spectators were going. It was a great game. It was great to watch. But it was an open game. Chelsea were on the counter. We were on the counter. It's like this in the end of the season. It's open up. So it could have easily been like 6-3 to us or something like that in that sense. So I'm happy with the win, of course. But the top 4 secured. Who would have thought we were in 3rd place after a season like this? We have played the League Cup final and we're going to the FA Cup final. So if it stands like this, we would say it's a success. And it depends on the summer window if we can get any new players in. But if we can, maybe we can do an Arsenal next season and be in the title race for 25 rounds or something. That will be great.
Yeah, no, 100%. Big up, Jarvis. Listen, there's 120 of you in here. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. We're on the road to 10K, people. So smash a like for Bombay. Bombay turned up tonight. Manchester United flooded the goals. We need to put some. We need to do a GoFundMe to get Bombay a season ticket at Old Trafford because trust me, the boys showed up for him tonight. So smash a like for Bombay having to deal with me sitting next to me every time taking my glasses off to give to that referee. He was absolutely pissing me off tonight. Nick Ruby, talk to me. Casemiro.
First and foremost, guys, remember yesterday we were sitting in your post-match review, right? Most of you were sitting there 1-1. What did Mick Ruby's tell you? I said 4-0.
3-0, like that, yeah.
4-0. I said it was goals. It's going to be a slaughter fest. And you guys were saying, no, 1-1. No. Nah, come on, man. And listen, at the end of the day, I heard the ambience. First half to me was a little bit about, you could tell it's like the end of the season game, right? The midfield was wide open. But at the end of the day, 2-0, cruise control and 2 more goals. I mean, that's all we needed. We needed a positive goal scoring. And you guys that went to Old Trafford, you must have really enjoyed it because it was electric from where we sitting and watching it. You know what I mean? Third at the moment. Thursday nights is gone. Tuesday nights, here we come. Liverpool, sit down, get into the sofa bin. Thursday night. No more. Whoa. We are like, we are champions.
Listen, Mickey, I'll stay with you quickly. Do you play the youth on all of the like workhorse, Maguire and all that, or do you keep the momentum and beat Fulham and then go into the FA Cup with a bit more confidence?
It's not what I would do. It's like what Ten Hag would do. I would give the kids a chance, but I wouldn't go like full open heart surgery. I would mix it up a bit, like give like some youth players a chance. Like I would see Iqbal, I would see a little bit of a Pellistri. I would like to see like Garnacho start on the left, rest a little bit of Rashford, bring them on in the second half if needed. But absolutely, we need 3 points against Fulham. We need to finish third. There's no retreat, no surrender right now. I don't know.
Okay.
What's your thought process?
Go ahead, Jarvis. What are you doing? Are you resting the whole 11 or resting 7 at least, like a lot of the key players, or are you starting all of a strong team to carry the momentum into the final?
Yeah, I would definitely rest Bruno. I would rest Rashford. I would rest Varane. I would probably rest Shaw because he has some back problems, and Casemiro.
He's injured. That's why he got taken off. Shaw's injured, so Shaw's definitely not going to play.
Yeah, so I would rest the usual suspects, the one who have carrying injuries, knocks, and have fatigue. But I will keep on playing the rest and try to win the game because if we get third, it's a great achievement. Third is better than fourth, but it's not that big of a deal, to be honest. But it feels better to go on with the good momentum in against the FA Cup final against City. Because we know Fulham will be up for it. They have a striker who's really out for revenge. He will probably try his best to go after us and score a couple of goals. So we don't want that at home, and we want to win the last game on Old Trafford. They do their celebrating victory lap and thank the crowd and everything. We want to go out with on a high. We don't want to lose that game.
Okay, so do you rest Varane then? Do you rest Varane, Casemiro, Bruno, Rashford? Who else are you resting?
Yeah, Shaw.
Shaw's injured already anyway. Shaw's injured.
And Wan-Bissaka.
Okay. Okay. Let me just get to this. Big up Richie, Everton fan. Big up to our Richie. He says, congratulations on the top 4. Richie, if I would have said to you, Rico, sorry, if I would have said to you that you had to beat Bournemouth to stay in the Premier League, you would have bit my hand off at the beginning of the season. In the time of the season when you thought you were getting relegated. I think you just need to beat Bournemouth and you stay up. It's still in your hands. Bombay, I'll go back to you. Eric Ten Hag has said, this is the quote from Eric Ten Hag. Big up to Mo, Hamza, Zain. Big up my brother. He says Eric Ten Hag says he's impatient, adding, I need better players if we want to compete for the highest level. That's what he means. So, what's the point of going to the Champions League for me if Manchester United are not signing 4 world-class players?
True that. I agree. So one thing is to come to Champions League, but the other thing is to compete, actually. So, yeah, I agree with you.
Bumbaye, what you reckon? You were there tonight. You saw it. You saw the deficiencies. You saw Eriksen gassing out after 10 minutes. I personally think we need 3 midfield players of different attributes. So what are you saying? Bumbaye, are you there? Bumbaye? He's probably gone
Major Tom to ground control.
Exactly.
This is ground control to Major Tom. Are you there?
Listen, I'm going to ask, I'll ask Eski and then I'll ask Jarvis and Mick Rudy. Go ahead, Eski.
What was the question, sorry?
So the question is simple, bro. What's the point going to the Champions League to make up the numbers? Manchester United, Eric Ten Hag needs 4 world-class players that go and walk into that team, the first 11. So there's no point of going to the Champions League if Manchester United are not going to back him. This is Eric Ten Hag after the game tonight. This is his quote. He said this. He says, I'm impatient. We need better players if we want to compete for the highest.
Oh wow, did he actually say that? No way.
Yeah, he said that.
Well, Joe, that's quite damning on the owners, because, like you were saying the other day, innit, he said a quote for one of them embargoes, but then afterwards he goes, "Oh, big place still want to come to Man United." Now he seems to have reverted on that and saying, "Yo, I need people in it." So big up on him for saying that. He's just saying the truth. Yeah, we don't want to be like Arsenal years ago, where they go in and get battered by Bayern Munich every year, just filling up the numbers. We want to compete. So absolutely right. We need to be getting 3-4 world-class players in minimum. Also, in addition to that, it's not just the starting players. You need good squad depth. You know, none of the £60 million for Mason Mount. You know, look in the free market. Don't we have a buyback clause on Jimmy Garner, if I'm not mistaken? I was heartbroken when he went. He's a top player. Do you know what I mean? There's people out there that we can get. So now we need to definitely get players in. Otherwise, what is the point?
Listen, big up Fran Ajenki. Varela Jeki says, sorry, I butchered your surname, brother. But Varela says, if Ten Hag wins the FA Cup and stops City in City's treble, I'm naming my firstborn Ten Hag. Well, he's played 60 games. He's won 40, and you know what I mean, drawn so many and lost so much as well. So he's won 40 games, and that's the most successful first season for any Manchester United manager. Big up to everybody. Listen, I'm gonna stay with you, Jarvis. At times, Chelsea really opened us up. Ericsson looked way off tonight. Absolutely got slaughtered in midfield. Even though Casemiro was everywhere, and at times there was like 3 Casemiros on that football pitch. Manchester United need to strengthen. What's the point of going to the Champions League if you can't strengthen? Eric Ten Hag has said it. He's laid a challenge for the for the football club. He put it out there. If Jim the Radcliffe comes in, we're getting Brexit FC players. I'm not having Mount, Rice, or any of these. I want to get Casado. I want to get Paulina, or some of these like big players who can play. I think aspect of Rice is overhyped to me personally, and I don't want Mason Mount. So Eric Ten Hag has laid down a challenge for Manchester United board tonight. Whoever takes over this football club needs to back this manager, or else I think next season he could walk. Me personally.
Yeah, listen, we have good players in the squad at the moment, and you have been saying this all season. It's fatigue, and we play too many games because we don't have the squad depth. So for me, if Ten Hag gets a bigger squad and he needs time to drill, and he needs to rotate the best players so they can stay on top all season, you know, if we can play our second best players and rotate more, we can compete with the team we already got at the moment if they are on top. As long as Martinez is fit, if we have Varane, we have Casemiro, we only need a striker, in my opinion, to have a 11 that can compete against the best. But we lack squad depth, and Ten Hag needs time to rotate his players and time to implement and his drills, and because we don't see any patterns anymore when we play. We used to before the World Cup, but now it's just like we sit back and counter. That's our thing. We're a one-trick pony at the moment. I would like us to play out from the back and create overloads and shift play and all the Ten Hag thing he wants to do. But at the moment we don't see it, and I feel it's because we have overplayed. We have played too much. Rashford is on 4,000 minutes plus. Same with Bruno. Vital players. They can't perform anymore. They are on 70% every game. So we need more squad depth. And of course, we need a couple of players in and more squad depth. But I don't think we need like 7-8 players. That's too much. I think we look at Chelsea. They bought 8 players and now they don't work at all. So we have to keep going with the momentum we have and trust the players we have. But we need a little bit more edge, in my opinion. And we don't have the budget either. We have 100 million as it stands, and we have to sell players. So that will be a tough nut to crack.
Yeah, well, he needs a backing for me. He needs nearly 300 million for me to compete. We need 4 or 5 world-class players. I'll go to you, Mick Ruby. What's the
Just bring back. Yeah.
You see tonight, he said he's impatient. He said he needs better players if he wants to compete at the higher levels.
Just going back to that chat from Hamza there, Mo Hamza there, because he said something very key and something that I'm very impatient and I need better players for next season. Wasn't it something like that?
Yeah.
Well,
he basically said, I'm impatient. We need better players to compete at the highest levels.
It's not the first time actually where he says I'm impatient. He said that the same thing in the beginning of the season. He also said openly to Melissa Redding in an interview, he said, I'm very impatient. You know, he wants to achieve a success now. But this is basically for him to say, like, you know, look what I've done with this squad right now. But if you back me, give me my place, what I want for next season, look what I can do, pretty much. I mean, we talked so many things about it. It's not about the clear and obvious big name signings, right? If you have, you can operate under, we don't know the budget as of yet. I mean, there's a lot of paper talks out there, right? You know what I mean? But we talked about this. Definitely place you can pick up in terms of squad depth from the relegation teams. You can also go to the grassroots leagues and get some. I mean, definitely we need midfielders. We need strikers. That is what we need, right? Kim Min-jae, hopefully we get him, but we need definitely like Casemiro replacement or number 2 rotation of Casemiro. I agree with Ericsson. I think Ericsson was a stopgap. He was for free, but I don't see Ericsson having enough engine and gas to play 56 games. So we definitely need 2 midfielders and 2 strikers. Martial is going.
Yeah,
I mean,
for me, I would definitely need 2 midfielders. I need Casado.
Casado, yeah, 100%.
I need Casado definitely in this team, and I need an attacking defense. For Frankie De Jong would be incredible.
Just get this Lavia kid instead, like a 19-year-old.
Listen, well, we need somebody who can carry the ball and can run with it. Big up to everybody. Listen, nearly 150 of you in here. Please smash a like on the video. Road to 10K. Let's go, people. Bombay, are you there? Are you falling asleep, Bombay? Are you there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Bombay. You're back to planet Earth. Yeah, you've landed. Yeah.
Technical difficulties, guys. Technical difficulties, but we're back.
We had a lovely cycle. He bought his bike. We had a lovely cycle to Old Trafford in the sun. It was a brilliant. Bombay, Eric Ten Hag's already come out and said he's impatient. He said he needs a better players to compete for the highest levels. So Manchester United need to back him. There's no point qualifying for the Champions League if you can't back him. What are you saying?
Yeah, it's if you qualify for the Champions League and you're not going to invest in the team to go and try and do something in the Champions League and get closer to the teams above us next season, then you're pissing in the wind, really. So I think the question is, has Eric Ten Hag, what's he done this season? Well, he's done, I think, more than enough for his employees to trust him implicitly and say to him, look, we believe in you. Here's the money that you need. Go out and take us to the next level. I mean, bare minimum, you have to go and get him a top-class striker. Bare minimum. Then you have to get him, at least one top-quality midfielder. At least one top-quality midfielder. And there's also fat that we can trim in that squad. These aren't players that are going to go for nothing. They're worth something, some of these players, if you want to get rid of them, so you can raise some money there. But yeah, I mean, I think this manager's fantastic. I think now that top 4's done, season objectives have been achieved, and you have to back the manager. Very, very simple. And what else can I say, man? I just hope that if Eric Ten Hag wants Mason Mount, because Mason Mount is a player. I know I'm in a minority. I really like the idea of Mason Mount, and I've said that before it actually got serious. But that aside, opinions aside, I want the manager to sell who he wants and get who he wants. If he wants really Mason Mount and he wants to pay 55 million, 60 million for him, which is a lot of money for a guy with 1 year on his contract, that suggests he really wants this guy if he's prepared to spend that part of his budget on him. If that's real, I mean, obviously we're talking here hypothetics. Then okay, fine. You know, that's part of a manager's job. You live and die by your decisions. You know, you wanted Anthony in the end. That cut into this year's budget, 85 million is a lot of money, but he believes in him, so fine. I always start as I believe in the manager. So whatever he wants to do, I back it. When I stop believing in the manager, then I start questioning all these signings and decisions and stuff. As long as the basis is he wants them, and
No,
he's not
listen.
just accommodating them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
That's the important part here.
Listen, hold it right there, Mumbai, because I'm sure Jarvis wants to go as well, and Mick Ruby needs to go and walk his little doggy. Listen, Mick Ruby, last comment.
Yes.
Who's your man of the match tonight?
Casemiro. Whoa, Casemiro all day long.
Casemiro.
I mean, I struggled. We did a post match afterwards. I really thought Aaron Wan-Bissaka was amazing.
Yeah, he was everywhere, wasn't he? Spider was everywhere. Spider legs. He was everywhere.
Yeah, and also Lindelof was amazing as well. Like, you know, we actually saw Lindelof going forward and it's almost assisting his goal as well. So that shows you that he's a great ball ability. But now Casemiro, for me, I already said Casemiro in my past stream, but Wan-Bissaka is equally good today.
Okay, big up to you, brother. Thank you so much for jumping on. People, make sure you subscribe to Mick Ruby. Follow Mick Ruby and Mick Ruby on Twitter, and make sure you subscribe to Man UFC Realist TV. Big up to you, brother.
Tomorrow we're doing happy hour quiz show. So guys, come and check us out.
What time are you doing that show?
I'm not sure. It will be probably right 9 p.m. UK time.
Okay, cool.
I'm the defending champion, so yeah, we're gonna be challenged.
There you go. Big
See you
up.
guys. Have a good evening.
Make sure you check that out, people. Make sure you check that out. Mick Ruby predicted this. So Man UFC Realist TV. Make sure you give that a subscribe. Road to 15K. And make sure you follow our Mick Ruby on Twitter. Big up to you, bro.
Thanks, you, bros. Peace, guys.
Take care.
Ciao. Good night.
Yeah. Champions! Champions! Listen, Jarvis, talk to me. Before I let you go, I know that you obviously the kids are awake now, and I'm going to let you go.
No, it's okay. It's okay. You're back in bed. For me, it's Casemiro. It's no discussion.
Single-handedly, Jarvis, I'll ask you the question: has he single-handedly in the most crucial games of the season? Has he single-handedly took us over literally dragged us by the horns and took us to the Champions League?
Yes, you can say that. And I agree. He's been excellent, and because he's been out of the game. You know, you could see it in the beginning of the season when he came from Real Madrid. Ten Hag played McTominay for a long time because it takes time for him to get back in top form. And it was the same now when he was back after all the suspensions and you know, he needs games to get going, and now he's back. So that's a good thing going forward to the last two games of the season. I think we will need him. It looks like Eriksen is not coming back this season. He's old. He's had a long injury. It takes a long time for him to recover. So. But we need him anyway. We don't have any options on the bench. Again, we have Fred, we have McTominay. Both of them are not performing well. When you have Fred has some good games, but you never know what you're gonna get. You know, you get Fred from Stoke or Fred from Brazil. It's always the same thing. So for me, when going forward in the summertime, I think we should move on both of them. Move them on. Because we need more squad depth. We need players who are reliable, players who we can trust, who can come in and do a job and give both Eriksen and Casemiro a rest, and maybe even replace Eriksen in time. But I would at least give him another season because I think he has special qualities, and we don't have those qualities in other players.
Okay, cool. Big up to you, Jarvis. Eski, who's your man of the match tonight?
Casemiro, man. There's only one Casemiro. Who's a close second? Probably Wan-Bissaka, maybe. But yeah, Casemiro.
Yeah, big up. Irfan, who was your man of the match tonight?
Yeah, it's got to be Casemiro. It's got to be. I mean, the fact that he scored the first goal and he sort of marshaled everything, you know. I mean, he did cut out a little bit.
I believe he single-handedly took us to the Champions League because no way I didn't see a goal coming from anywhere against Bournemouth, and he scored the most vital goal. Tonight he opened the scoring and set up the second. But it is what it is. Mbaye, who's the man of the match tonight?
That was shadow over doubt, Casemiro, man. Unbelievable.
Yeah,
Honourable mentions for Wan-Bissaka and Lindelof.
What was it like watching
Sorry?
him live? What was it like watching him live?
It was like watching a person that took it upon himself to really just be a general, man. You can see him, the way he's telling people, go, close, make that run. His positional, his scanning constantly. He's a marvellous, marvellous player. And he's a big part of the reason why our defensive stats look the way they are. That's been our strength this year, defence. Attack, again, you saw it tonight. You know, if that was good, then we'd be talking in even more glowing terms. But he's been a massive part of it.
Yeah, big up to you, man. Listen, Therapy Army, please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. We're on the road to 10K. Hit that notification bell because it lets you know when next live. You can hear I've lost my voice. So big up to everybody. Love and light. Big up to everybody in the comments. Big up to all yourselves. And Manchester United are back in the Champions League. But for me, it means nothing if Manchester United are not signing 4 to 5 world-class players that walk into that starting lineup. We need a strong spine. We need 2 strikers. I believe we need 2 midfield players. And then we need a centre-half and a goalkeeper. That's me personally. But big up to you. We'll be back hopefully maybe Saturday for the last game of the season preview. So big up to all of you tonight. I still not got a ticket for that game, so I'm looking for a ticket. So if you know anybody, let me know. Hit me up on Twitter, people. You know where I'm at. Before we get off, make sure you check out Jarvis Bowley. It's let me get this on here. It's at Bowley
77. Yeah,
there you go, Bowley 77. So make sure you check him out. Make sure you check out Irfan Rainey on Twitter. A lot of politics. And Irfan Rainey on Instagram. And a lot of music for you there for you to check out. Eski and Mbaye, they're both not on social media. They both have a 150-year contract to United Real Therapy. They've been gagged. They're not there. They're like, I can't talk to anybody else or get on social media. So you'll find them here. You can definitely follow us on that guy, Red Devil, Mr. Structure. And make sure you follow Tom Journalist 1 on Twitter as well. Tom has sent me some interesting update. We might do a show definitely on Sunday. On Saturday, we'll go into it a bit more. But there are a lot of murmurings about the Glazer game, so we'll find out one. But big up Mupsy TV for the super chat. We weren't great today, but we managed to score 4. We're lucky not to be 3-0 down in the first half. 100%, bro. 100%. It could have been 3-1 down, but, you know, at the end of the day, it's a midfield, and we cannot play that midfield against Man City because we're going to get opened up and we're going to get sliced and knifed. That's what's going to happen to us. So big up to everybody. Thank you so much, Mupsy TV. I hope you're well, brother. Let me know when you next time. Hit me up on Twitter, and definitely we'll do a show, bro. Varane, Casemiro never lost a final together. That gives me some hope. Big game players. Yeah, let's hope and pray, bro. Let's hope and pray. Yeah, Ericsson didn't turn up tonight. I think he was somewhere tonight. Yeah, please. There we go. Bowley 77. Try always follow back. There you go. There you go, people. Todd Bowley apparently had to step back tonight. News that Todd Bowley is stepped back. He got a bit with Giddy, and I don't think everybody's happy with him. So it is what it is for Chelsea. But I might watch the game, a little bit of the game, second half of the game tomorrow. I'm too tired now. I need to go to bed. Peace, love, light, people. Win, lose, draw. Glazers out, bankers out. Full sale only. Jim the Radcliffe out. Take care, people. Good night. Peace.
Good night.